boop, boop. I wonder if I can get some good audio today. It's just now that mic is like right in my face. Let's see, let's get some woodwinds starting from scratch today. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm just about to start cooking some music up. This is like a very D&D inspired channel, so the music is going to be based on that. I recorded a sketch right before I started this, so it's just me singing. Okay, yeah, that's enough to go on. I just gotta like load up some instruments here. Have a little bit of a template to work with. Sometimes it just takes a second to like load. Probably not gonna use the guitar. I was singing it in A flat, so we'll go with A flat. I usually like default to C every time, so I need to try and not do that. Not this time. I want some choir stuff as well. Let's see. Vocals. Put the tempo down. It's gonna be kind of like a city theme. That's kind of the idea for this. Because I'm reading this book right now called Elminster, Making of a Mage. And it's the first book in this series about Elminster, who's like the greatest wizard in D&D, basically. And he's like 1,200 years old now. So he's like this legendary figure, but he just lives because he's just invincible. But in the beginning, he was like a thief in a town called Hastarl, which was since destroyed, but it's this is like an echo of the past. Essentially, is kind of what I want to create with this piece. Gotta bring in some supporting strings here. Because I have the idea like relatively clearly in my mind. So it does make a lot of sense for other people until I've actually kind of written put some of the things down. Trills, tremolo, pizzicato. Probably not gonna use the. I will, maybe. This is kind of how I work. I got these like sets of instruments, and then I load in like a set if I need that particular kind of group of things. Okay, maybe not any slower than this. Okay. It's like an intro. Oh, that's a lot of reverb on this. Gonna ease up on that a little bit. Oh yeah. I'm using the whole super hall. Maybe we want a little bit of reverb on a bus here. Get some of these things out of the way early. Setting up these buses. Maybe that could be like a... Oh, I had this idea of like... Instead of doing these like downwards movements, I would like go up. Alright, I'll just record this melody now. Oh, is it a bit fast, actually? I was like cautious of being too slow as well, but we'll try it. I gotta get the entry perfect. I don't know which one of those are better, but... Yeah, I guess I can figure it out as I go. I'll probably just leave this last part. I think I need like some little bit of sort of solo delay here. I usually put like a little bit of delay on the soloists because it kind of gives it like this kind of echoey. You know, it kind of adds like kind of an extra sort of dimension to the solo player. Thanks for a follow. Hey, Hero Arts. How you doing? So the story about Hastarl, as far as I can remember, it's like there's these like mage lords who's gonna has like this kind of tyrannical kind of rule over the land, and Hastarl is just like one of the towns in this place called Athlandar, and yeah, I'm not sure how important the context is Athlandar to, but it's nice to kind of know a little bit in my mind like what kind of the vibe is. Yeah, see if I can like add some little sprinkles in the top layer, some like woodwinds or something. Maybe some staccato woodwinds. Let's see. Maybe I'll do some like delay on the staccato woodwinds here. Let's see how that would sound. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're the defining element. I think like a harp thing maybe is what I'm needing. But like a more like medieval Celtic sounding harp would probably be better than like a straight up harp. Turn in music, making up a bit and your voice down a tiny bit. I haven't actually tested the sound today. Is it? Maybe that's better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I realized I had like my gain was way too up. Thanks for letting me know. I'll actually double check on Twitch. I kind of forgot to do it like a bit of a sound check today. So that's sounding probably a little bit better now. Just testing the music here now. Oh yeah. I had my music way down. I think it's because last time if I was mastering. Thanks for a follow. Well, this is fine. Nice. Good stuff. Right. All right. Cool. Then we go back into it. If my stream suddenly stops before I'm planning on streaming until like 10 Central Eastern time, so about like 1.5 hours from now. So if it stops before that and you're still here, then please tell me, because last time my stream just got disconnected and I didn't know, and I was just talking to nobody for like 40 minutes. So I hope that doesn't happen today. That sounds pretty cool. That sounds nice. I kind of have to like redo this a little bit, but maybe I'll just record it again. Hey, Connor. Yeah, we are getting deeply nerdy here, and that's just the way I like it. Deeply nerdy. There's nothing more nerdy than D&D, I think. I mean, I'm actually sure there are more nerdy things now that I think of it. Pokemon cards, maybe. I'd probably say that that's more nerdy. No, it's not a competition, but yeah, I've been trying to read some old Forgotten Realms books, novels recently, and I started reading the Elminster series, so I got a little inspired to write some music based on it. I just love the lore from. It's pretty difficult to read the Elminster books, but it's I'm enjoying it. You really have to pay attention though, because there's a lot of detail. That's like it's written in like excruciating detail. In kind of like sort of ye olde English. Favorite character that you've burned through? You mean in D&D when I've played D&D? I mean, I've been DMing like for the past 3-4 years, so I've only actually ever played like one character. When I was a part of another campaign that was like 3 years before that, dressing up and role playing at Renaissance fairs. That sounds awesome. I mean, I actually did like I was like an extra at a Renaissance fair where I don't think we were paid, but we were just invited to like run around in costume and like mess with people. And I think we were both like 15 at the time, so we were just loving it. And all the kids were really excited because there was like, there's 2 weird dudes in costume running around doing like random stuff, pretending that this is like medieval times. My favorite character that you created as a DM. I created the reincarnation of Sailoon Silverhand, which was one of my favorite characters. Probably, it was like they had a they received a scroll of true resurrection, and they were gonna like a scroll of true polymorph, and they built this like silver statue of a dragon, and they were gonna like true polymorph the statue into an adult silver dragon or something like that, or a young silver dragon. But they failed the casting, so they like, 'cause you have to roll because it was a spell scroll that was way higher level than what they could cast. So they failed the casting. But instead of them just failing it, I made it so that, oh, now you're just casting a different spell. So I was like, I made it into true resurrection instead. And so it drained like 10% of their maximum HP, all of them permanently, to create like a human, or I think it was a elf actually. Yeah. So it's like, but it was like the reincarnation of Sailoon Silverhand, who came back to life. And that's like one of the 7 sisters who are like the chosen of Mystra. And she died like ages ago when she sacrificed herself to save the Shadowdale or something like that against an adult red dragon by breaking a staff of the Magi over her knee. And it created like an explosion that deals like 800 damage, and she just got pulverized in an instant along with the dragon. And so she then came back, but she had like no memory of, obviously, of like who she was. But then she realized that she had all these powers, and she could like transform into a silver dragon, because that was like a power she used to have. So suddenly they had this like she became like the daughter of one of the PCs, because, well, she created her. She thought she created life, but it was actually like a resurrection. But she didn't realize that until like later in the game, when there was like they met with like Elminster Silverhand, which is like another one of the sisters, who's the head of Silvery Moon. And she noticed that there's like a connection, you know, and she's like, oh, you know, yeah. It got really like, there was a lot of stuff that happened in that campaign. It's whenever you talk about like your own campaign, you can get really like off the rails, because there's so much cool stuff that happened that you just want to like talk about it. But yeah, maybe not as interesting for other people. I don't know. Yeah, D&D is like just a lot of fun. Your patron is the DM, like your PC. A warlock whose patron is the DM. So at a nat 1 from a nat 20, but the DM can redeem the nat 20 at his own leisure. Amazing. I love that. That's really cool. It's very evil. Like, you never know what is going to happen. You like hearing about my campaign? Thank you. That's nice. Yeah, it was a really cool campaign because we homebrewed a lot. It was actually Rise of Tiamat, so I was like, I'm gonna do like everything with dragons. I'm not gonna do just like the things that are in the book. So I got Fistbands, Treasury of Dragons, and I would like, scrolling through the bestiary, and I was like, I'm gonna use this monster and all of the monsters actually. So I just put like all the dragons I could find in it. I tried to put a time dragon in it, but I didn't have time, and they were like, we kind of just want to finish the campaign. Because I crammed in too much like filler stuff, I think, at one point. Yeah, but I think it was overall quite enjoyable. I threw like the deck of many things on them once, which I partly regret because one of the PCs kind of ruined their character, and I didn't really want to play anymore after that because they were like, well, I've broken the precepts of my character and the principles of my character. And even though we went back in time, my character is now like lost, all of his self-respect because he like pulled from the deck. It's like, how could I sacrifice myself to all this power, Because they basically like died, their soul where it was like, taken away, but they got some good stuff. But yeah, I think they made a wish like, can we keep all the good stuff and like but revert all the bad stuff? And they were like, use a wish or something to do that. Yeah, I think they actually went back in time and pulled from the deck again. And then the time police came later in the game, and they took them to Sigil in the Outlands and stood them in front of the courts for like crimes against the time space continuum. And that actually happened like straight in the middle of a lich fight that they had been building up against, and they were just as they were about to fight the lich, the time police arrived and were like, "Hey, you're under arrest!" And they're like, "What? No, not now!" And then the sentinel just kind of like pulverized the lich and took them with them to the courts. It was fun, maybe mostly for me. And that's what it is like to be a DM, I guess. Oh yeah, I was finding some bells. That's right. Bells and keys. Or maybe just bells. He redeemed his first not one on a stealth check, which almost cost a TPK. Damn. Brutal. That's like making a deal with the devil. One of my favorite moments was being hammered at an in-person session, and I managed to talk cultists into helping me steal a relic. Oh, nice. Oh, which relic was it? I actually played the Storm King's Thunder. That's the only campaign that I ever played in, actually. I used Grease like all the time. Grease was like my favorite spell. And it was like the Storm King was captured on a boat, like held by these like huge magical chains. And I was like, how do we break the chains? And we're like, you don't have to break the chains. You just have to grease them up. And I like threw grease on the chains. And we used like telekinesis to like pull him. And it was like, just like pulled him out of the chains. It was hilarious. And the DM allowed it, obviously, because it was just too funny. This needs like so much reverb to sound good. I think I need like some pizzicato actually here. Maybe I'll if this piece turns out well, I'm gonna try and send it to Ed Greenwood and ask what he thinks. I actually wrote another piece based on a book series by R.A. Salvatore. I wrote that piece, Mithril Hall, on the channel, and I sent it to him on email, and he responded. He was like, "That's nice." He didn't say a lot. He was just like, "That's nice." So maybe I'll just do that with like every author in the D&D. Just read the books and make some music for it and email them. Just for like a little ego boost. Work like months just to get that. Missing an A on the end of Pete's, my friend. Hey, give me a pizza. In it just for the pizza, not for money. That offset is really subtle but nice. Yeah, I like these little pizza offsets. Maybe I'll actually keep the offset all the way. It's like once you start doing the offset, it doesn't feel right to hit like straight on the beat. And anyway, here I'm gonna bring in the daburubesu, as it's called in Japanese. You might hear some intermittent Japanese phrases blurted out, so do not be alarmed. It's normal. At least I try to convince myself of that. So here we're gonna make it thick. Octave down, maybe? The only Japanese I know is... Oh god, okay. Yeah, we'll do like a extra half bar here. That'll be nice. And then I'll probably do an interlude after this before getting back into the melody again. It's just because I want to make it like kind of cinematic feeling, I guess, instead of like just like a theme song, if you know what I mean. I actually tend to use itadakimasu before eating when the food looks really good. Only if the food looks really good. Mine never lasts long enough if it looks good enough. That makes sense. Yeah, in Japan you have to say itadakimasu. It's kind of like in America they say prayer mostly, right? We don't do that in Norway, but we're just rude. Check it out, I got a hightail bottle. I get a bunch of hightail merch from the olden days, from the olden times, the before times, when we used to make lots of merch. I think I went like a bit too high with this velocity here. You and the boys are not rude, and I won't hear any more slander about it. Well, it's also Norwegian to be humble, right? So we say that we are less than we are because that's the polite thing to do. It doesn't always help us, because then there's someone else who are like, you know, really like, I'm the best, and since you say that you are not as good as you are, then I believe you. And then you're kind of like, oh, well, that wasn't the goal. How can you believe what I say? I guess it's like in Norway, you're just humble, but you expect others to kind of understand that you're not actually bad. You just say that. Is it possible to collab with Hightail? I really want to. It depends. I mean, it's we haven't got a lot of collabs in mind really at the moment, because it's we're focusing on a lot of stuff towards 1.0. You know, so we're very kind of tunnel vision towards that right now. So it's very difficult to get anything else kind of happening, because I have to kind of just focus on the things that I need to do for the 1.0 release. So I've asked about similar things, but it's either very difficult or just it gets rejected instantly. So I don't really have much kind of influence on that, unfortunately. Magnus Carlsen is an example of a non-humble Norwegian. Oh yeah, Magnus Carlsen. Yeah, Magnus Carlsen is. I mean, he's kind of one of those like prodigy children. He's just been the best always. So then when if he doesn't play well, then he gets really mad, or I don't know. I've only seen those like clips on TV where he's like storms off and he's like, you know, tosses the chess pieces away and it's like and he's wearing his denims and gets like shut out of the things because he's wearing denims or something. I think this needs a bit more reverb. Maybe I should have it like a bit higher up here. It's like a very narrow string sound. Gonna dip on me. Take it later. All right, cool. Yeah, see you, Connor. Thanks for stopping by. experimental short raiders and trunk bombastic. Yeah, they were quite fun to make. We haven't really planned any sort of usage. We haven't actually planned any usage for them, unfortunately. Yeah, the question is like, should I do, and then, or maybe it could be nice to actually a bit more dramatic, I guess, to end on that, a little less kind of vague. Just move those notes over here. Oh. Oh yeah, I gotta change these notes. You have to leave the computer. Yeah, I just said it's not going to be possible right now, basically, because we're too busy with 1.0. So we're very selective with what we choose to spend our time doing, basically. So right now it's just not a good time. Let's see. Let's be a bit more gentle with these notes. A little whimsical thing like that. Yeah, well, I'm missing a couple of things still, but just gotta believe that it'll somehow just kind of start clicking, you know. that comes in about here. I think the tremolo, high tremolo string sounds pretty good. I'm actually kind of feeling maybe I should make this cello a bit more of like a central element here, like, you know, more soloed. I feel like a cello solo here. I'm trying like reduce the amount of reverb instead and center it. Yes, I think I need a different patch. There is, let's see, solo. I'm gonna go in the Spitfire solo. I really need to buy the cinematic solo strings because apparently they're really nice, but they're like $400, $500. I think they're $400. Your VSTs are amazing. Thank you. I mean, I saved them up over many years. I started buying VSTs back in 2014, I think. So it's like 12 years of saving up and gathering stuff, you know. It's a very expensive job. You have to like constantly feed your money back into the work. Does this not sound good? Right. I think I have another solo here. Let's see. Try something else. Maybe this can be my savior. Doesn't really sound very good either. Jeez. Okay. I have the things. I have Tina Guo, which sounds pretty good, but it's also like very over dramatic. And this is the Tina Guo Classic. I think actually the Tina Guo Volume 2 actually is a little bit less dramatic. It's quite a lot of legato volume here. That sounds, yeah, you're gonna have the... Oh, if I turn the release volume down, maybe? Legato speed. This is hard. I need some reverb. Well, I need to re-record it because every time you like switch VST, it's gonna have like a different pre-delay. So the recording that you did for another instrument isn't gonna sound good on another VST. It also begs the question whether I should actually do this line on a violin solo instead. I have this one. This Friedlander violin sounds pretty good. Yeah, it's actually a bit too vibrato-y, actually. Thought I had like another. It's like this is the kind of time where having a live recording is like actually what you need, and you just cannot get away with it with a with a VST. I guess what I had in the beginning was really so far the best choice. Although there's one more thing I can try. Maybe if we use these only the close mics. Yeah, spot close, room. Try to center it a little bit. And then I apply some extra reverb after that. Now it sounds kind of like what I was going for, I guess. I think it's probably the closest we're gonna get. It does need more reverb though. It's like I was trying to achieve this kind of like dry thing, but it's just not really sounding very good. Maybe if I apply a bit more high end. So you get a bit more fizz. That gives you like the illusion that it's closer. You know, like a big crescendo. Yeah. Let's go compared to what I did in the beginning. Sounds... what I already had sounded the best, actually. Well, we've come full circle.
All you had to do was believe in yourself. We've learned that to make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
Or something. It's like I'm already doing something in a tremolo, but it could be cool to do something like an extra line. Maybe I'll just double it up with the woodwinds. Legato. It's gotta be legato. Some low flutes.
That could be nice. To make something special, you just have to believe it's special. That's, I'm a huge Kung Fu Panda fan, so it's not like maybe like a new quote that movie came up with, but I do quote that movie a lot. I haven't actually seen the fourth movie though. I kind of missed it. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda is awesome. I think Kung Fu Panda 3, John Powell didn't do the soundtrack. It was just Hans Zimmer, and I like, no offense to Hans Zimmer, but I didn't really like the soundtrack that much. It's because for me, I'd gotten such a personal such a close relationship to the soundtrack that John Powell had created with all the themes and all the stuff, and I was really looking forward to hearing how he kind of kept developing the music in the third movie. But then he didn't do it, and then Hans Zimmer took over and he created. It just didn't feel right, and I'm not sure if the writers were even the same, because it like had this kind of weird feel about it. It just like didn't really feel like Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2, like the jokes were a bit childish and in like a bad way, But maybe the fourth movie, I don't know if it's changed. I think I need to just change the reverb again to the Teldex. Give me the Teldex treatment. Also seen the art in board games start to take a similar turn for the worse. Oh yeah, like it's becoming like a bit more like cheapened or like a bit more childish or something. You work in trailers for big movies and TV shows, so I know a lot of what's happening. Ooh, that's cool. What kind of stuff do you do on the trailers? Quacks and Catan. I have a version of Catan, but I haven't seen what changes have happened to it. I don't think I've ever heard of Quacks. Oh. Assistant editor. I did all the prepping for the Toy Story 5 trailer. Nice. That's awesome. Toy Story 5. That was the one. I saw that. Yeah, I did. That was a while ago. That's cool. Oh wait, it was not a while ago. Sorry, I'm talking about Toy Story 4. That's the one I was thinking of. There's actually a new Toy Story coming on June 19th. Damn. I feel like I need to watch this trailer now. Check out how nicely edited it is. Husband and knife. Yeah, I guess I should be like actually viewing the trailer on the stream if I'm gonna watch it and not just like watch it alone without you guys taking part of it. But yeah, go watch the Toy Story 5 trailer and you'll see Hortonization's great editing work. Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna see that. I think I need like some brass here actually. I'm kind of struggling to like lift this section, but Spencer at my company edited. I just did the preps and cleanup for finishing. Nice. Well, it must be a really great experience to like be a part of that and get to learn in that space. I bet that's the beginning of a long and fruitful career, I hope. Ooh, it's getting hot. I'm gonna window and I'm gonna go and grab some more Oboda. Be right back. Okie dokie. So I haven't really progressed a lot, I feel, on this piece, but I'm trying to, you know, make it good. I guess that's the whole reasoning. Yeah, better to create quality than quantity, right? I mean, sometimes it flows and you're able to create nice quality in like a short amount of time, but sometimes it just doesn't always come out. Maybe something like that. Just clean this up. It's so hard to get everything to kind of like just blend really well in the mix, and then you add like too much of one thing, and then suddenly the whole thing just sounds like a mush, you know? Like you want to make something big, but yeah, it ain't easy. It's a lot of little finicky work as well. Like editing these little nodes. Need like a bit more of a swell. Right. I mean, you can collaborate with. There's probably lots of people who want to use your music out there for mods and stuff. Even if there's not like a direct collaboration with Hytale, you can do, you know, because there's no one who's collaborating with Hytale right now. Basically, that's the gist of it. So, the doors are kind of not really. You know, we're very selective in that case. If there was to be a collaboration, you know. So, but I mean, there's so many people making mods, and there's lots of people out there in the community. You should just connect with the communities and you know, try to find a place where you can get your music used in a mod. Because there's a lot of people who are making servers, and you know, some of those servers and those networks can become bigger than Hytale itself. You know, because you know, that's where Hytale came from. They came from Hypixel Network, who was also a modded community that became really big. So that sounds pretty nice. I think there's something wrong with the bass. I think there's just... Maybe this needs to be a different bass. I'm actually a bit tired today. I didn't sleep a lot. Oh, I slept 7 hours. It's not enough for me. I need to sleep 8 or 9. I do like long distance running training, and it just makes me sleepy. That's a nicer bass. It's an octave up, but which I guess helps a little bit. There's a part of me that feels that I've written music like this. Oh, I have written music like this before, but I'm not sure if I've written this song. I wrote a song similar to this. I think it's the way that I will continue the piece that's going to determine whether this is going to be the same song as the other one or not. Add a sub. It's actually starting to kind of work a little bit. I'm gonna add a subtle sub here. If I even need it. I don't know if I even need it. Let's say I switch it out. So it's either that or this. What about together? I guess if I turn this down a little bit, then together would be nice. Yeah, let's just do that. Gonna go into something kind of dramatic now, I think. Just like way too much reverb. Gonna get another tremolo patch in. Because I kind of wanna play with this thing with like the young Elminster, and then there's a mage lord, so there's this tyrannical kind of authority in this town, and then there's like he's basically like a thief, he's a burglar, so it's like this like kind of juxtaposition of this like kind of youth versus this authority, danger kind of. That's kind of what I'm thinking of trying to make use of in the piece. I wish we get something a bit more kind of raw sounding. Have you ever used FL Studio? I haven't actually. Way too hard. Oh, I feel like I need to kind of slow down even 2 beats. I should like a little bit less crescendo here. Okay, I need to bring in some like transitional effects here. Chimes. Like a bell tree. And gong slide. This one. A bit early. We'll fix that. Turn this down, turn this up. Bring in the flute solo. Modulate. Maybe that was a bit weird recorded. I'll do that again. Do like a crazy kind of like, you can if you want to kind of do like a sort of scary sounding arpeggio or flourish, you just do like two minor chords like half note apart from each other and create a scale out of that. So it's like, no. So you play like no, you know, and just do that like really fast. I can't really play very fast, so I can do that, and then I can just like repeat it, I guess. Let's see how that turned out. Then we just build it up like that. You don't need all those notes, but we just turn it down, add a bit more reverb to hide it a bit more in the mix. We can add a little bit of delay even to make it a bit more magical sounding. Yeah. kind of echoing a little bit. Magic. God. It needs this. It like keeps hanging over the note, so I can't like actually keep going. Do some double bassoons here. So it's nice to create like a kind of like a whimsical kind of like backing with like a thirds in the bassoons. Need to fix this a little bit. Oh yeah. It's like with witchcraft and wizardry like instantly. How many years have I been doing this job? I've been doing this for, well, I worked on Hytale for 10 years, but before that, I was making music probably since like 2000. I've been writing songs since I was 12, but I only started composing on like GarageBand when I was like, well, I guess I started doing that when I was 12, but the first game job that I did, I was like maybe 20 or something. So maybe 15 years, I guess you could say. Because that's when I actually started writing songs for a game. There was like an RPG Maker game. That was like my first gig. And I wrote like 50 songs for it, and it never saw the light of day. So I've always been kind of like just, if I have a project, I'll just write a ton of music for it. I think I just love producing like masses of songs. That's probably good, yeah. Hit that like minor. That's probably good. I feel like there's maybe a bit too much reverb on this. Okay, let's listen for the start. I guess that did nothing. Sometimes there's like certain sounds that sound good on their own, but they don't cut through the mix, so there's like, it doesn't actually add anything. Maybe that could be nice, like a little bit of subtle kind of like just a bard frolicking in the background. Get it right though. It's actually kind of hard to get it to hit right. That's where it's at. Now I start playing that like by accident because I just. Jeez. I think it's the velocity is kind of screwing me up. I'll just fix it in the edit. I'm just gonna edit it because I can't freaking play it right. So we just space this out like properly, and then we have to make sure that the notes kind of like some notes are stronger than others, despite them having the same velocity, etc. So it's like kind of hard, you know. My life. Maybe like that. Maybe actually they should hit on the beat like that. It does actually feel a bit too dry now. It's like barely audible now, but maybe that's... This section kind of hits a bit hard, but... Hey Vance, hi Oscar, big fan of your work. Question for you: is this music you're making for RPG music royalty free? Would love to use some of it for Hytale related map. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can, but it would be nice if you grabbed the music from my Patreon, and didn't just like rip it on YouTube. And obviously, if you gave me a credit, that would be very nice. I'll because you can grab the tracks for pretty cheap, I'd say. Yeah, like if you go in here, then you get access to a link, like where you can download the music from. So you can get the MP3s for like $5. And then you can get the uncompressed files for $10 if you prefer to have that. Or you can subscribe if you want to support me even more. But if you just want to do like a one-off. But after that, you can use some royalty free. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just happy if people can use the music for something, really, because I'm kind of doing this as a hobby. It's nice to be kind of appreciated, obviously, but it's nicer if people can actually make use of it somehow. There's a lot of delay on this. Get like a thing like that. I love using the tuba. It's just, you can do a whole part with just tuba. I think I'm actually gonna go, yeah, straight into the tuba. Tuba. That's gonna be good. It's like a sort of classic scary line. Gonna put like a close sound. That sounds quite nice. Be a little careful with fresh air. It can be very dangerous. Stack up like high end very quickly. All these freaking hanging notes. Okay, we're gonna do another half bar here. And then we're gonna go back into the melody again. I'm not sure what form, but I'm feeling good about this. This is the main instrument. when you have instruments that sound nice, it's so easy to just sit and like just play chops, just play like sort of typical melodies in that kind of realm, and waste a lot of time just jamming. Because it's actually quite fun to play with these instruments as well. So. I don't know. I don't know if that's what I'm gonna do, but I feel like I haven't quite found the right tail for this melody, but like that kind of unique kind of turn or something. Right. Maybe I'll just chop it off and then I'll just wait and see if I come up with something better after. Has anyone ever seen Whiplash? It's like 1, 2, 3, sagging just a hair. I was like, not quite my tempo. It's like the ultimate freaking awful person. J.K. Simmons did such a good job on that film. Incredible. Like such a psycho in that movie. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna actually reharmonize the melody a little bit to make it a bit more interesting. The second time comes in. Oh wee! I'm getting sleepy. Okay, I gotta go to bed in like a little bit. It's almost 10 o'clock. Can you believe it? This is what it's like to become a dad. You get sleepy at 10 and then you go to bed. And that's your life until you're 50, and then you can't really do anything about it after that. Well, can't really do anything about it now. Just gotta embrace the dadness. Embrace the unk. Ooh, maybe I could do like a... I'm gonna do a different choir anyway. Ooh, not a dwarven choir though. I have a dwarven choir. Sounds like this. I used it on this like Dwarf Minds track that I did a while back. Yeah, I'll probably round the stream up in like about 5 minutes. That's kind of a nice progression. Is it better higher up? I guess that's very like emotional. I mean, it's supposed to be, but it's like this is very ethereal sounding. I mean, Elminster is like a story about Mystra, which is like the goddess of magic, and she is obviously like female choir would kind of match that kind of like you know, divine goddess kind of vibe. But it's going from this and like straight into that. Maybe that's like a bit too too weird of a transition. I suppose it is regardless, but it's like when you write things so slowly, it's so easy to lose track of the context. You know what? I'm actually gonna wait with the melody. I think I gotta drag this part out. Although I will do the thing with the chords and stuff. I'll probably remember it. Well, actually, maybe I should write it down because maybe I won't remember it, and then I'll hate myself. And we'll just do it in the strings, actually, for now. What the hell? Something really weird happening here. Okay. It isn't weird, but I'm getting like weirded out by it. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah. Now it's actually starting to sound like some music at last. Takes time. That could be nice. A bit hard to play that, but I'll try. Ah, I managed. First try, hell yeah. Ish. Ish. Gotta fix it a little bit though. Yeah, it's just a ramble. My brain can't keep my mouth can't keep up with my brain. That's kind of a cool motif, I guess. Is that the chords? I can't tell anymore. Jeez. Okay, now I gotta write the chords. Oh yeah, of course. Oh, that would be nice. That's sixth, like leading into the third of the next. Very nice. Totsamosh. Just do like a cluster, that'd be nice. Ah, oh, what has happened here? Yes. Yes, the evil. Good. The dark side. That's like the vibes that I'm getting from that chord. Do it. Do it, Anakin. Kill him. Sweet. That's what we like. Just a little bit of villainous murder. In movies. Have to specify that. Okay, I probably won't have this section play after this, but I'll move this later somewhere and fill in a little bit more, and then I'll lead into this Bart part. guess I can be an octave up there. Yeah, I'll do like a stepwise thing there. That'll be nice. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yes. little bit of Star Wars vibes there. I got in the mood. If you only knew the power of the dark side. It's like that, like the piccolo flute kind of vibes. Another half bar here. We modulate again. This time from F minor something something to B minor. I mean, it's in the same kind of vein, I guess. Let's see. I'll use this harp, but I'll just take the delay off. This harp is just way more ambient, so it kind of sits a little bit better in the mix here. This part is kind of like reflecting a bit more of that, like sneaking about the alleys at night, you know. Which means I'm gonna need some muted brass. I wonder if there's like a muted brass ensemble patch. I'm gonna see if I can find that. Brass. Full ensemble. I'm gonna put like just like a muted brass chord. It's muted brass, but there's doesn't feel quite right, this sound. Muted horns, I think, is what I'm looking for. So this one's legato. Yeah. Okay, when I start sneezing, that's my body telling me to go to bed. I have like an automatic response in my body where if I push my body, I'll start sneezing. So naturally, I keep going. No, I will go to bed actually. Just gotta get this down. Just gotta get this thing done. Could have a little bit of timpani. These like little things are so finicky to get right. But just gotta do it. That's sounding a bit better. But we need some more of that chimey stuff. I guess I kind of already did that, but I'm gonna do it again just because. Just because. I think I have something in here that I haven't actually used before, like a bell tree or something. It's called bell tree. Where are you? There it is. interesting. Putting it off on the side kind of sounds a bit mysterious. I guess we'll have a bit of reverb. Just not as much. Beltry is interesting. It's kind of like a... Sounds like a mix between like the chimes and like a vibra slap or something. It's very like harsh kind of sound. I guess it's like, it feels a bit like classic. Like I think a little bit of the vibes that I want to kind of emulate with this is like a bit of that like old school soundtrack style, like, well, John Williams basically. But also like kind of using some of the sounds that people would typically use more before. I really like the kind of retro stuff, like 80s and, you know, 70s even, late 70s at least. Yeah. Thanks for the follow. Oh, hey Kalila. Right, so there's gonna be some other stuff in between here because this transition does just not work. We'll turn this sound down like a little bit. It's actually pretty hard. Even if you turn it down, you can still hear it quite strongly. Like that cello sound doesn't work as well anymore. Later on, I mean. In the beginning it works fine, but I'll make another, I'll use this cello patch. got a lot of reverb. Maybe I gotta ease up a little bit on that. Cool. Anyway, I gotta go to bed. I should really stop. It's 10:30. But thanks for coming and listening and watching. If you just got off work and can finally watch the stream, then sorry. But time zones are of the essence. Me. So I'm gonna go. And yeah, I guess I'll keep writing this piece next week, probably. So yeah, check out the Patreon if you want to support me. You can. That'd be nice if you want to do that, but there is no pressure or force to do that.